Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today we've got a game between Final Battle, is what I looked up this translation to be, and Xandr27. I have seen Final Battle play before. He has excellent game sense, if I'm remembering correctly. Just a knowledge of where people are gonna be, when they're gonna be there, and how to get around them. So I'm sort of expecting to see the same thing out of him today. We'll see how that goes. So the map is Faymanville. This has been a competitive map for a very long time. I like to talk about the brick building that used to occupy right here in Company of Heroes 2 and be basically impossible to remove your opponent from. And of course they got rid of that. They still had these, in the Company of Heroes 2, they still had some rather fortress-like buildings on the corners here. They've replaced them with some lighter feeling buildings, and in this game in general, buildings feel less tanky, less impossible to break. So yeah, enough rambling about buildings. So we got a fairly standard build from both players right now. Well, actually, German player's kind of gone for an interesting build. He started with 2 Panzer Pioneers, added on a motorcycle, and now he's adding on a half-track. And I wonder if he's thinking about... So typically when you add a half-track on this early, you've got a particular strategy in mind. It's gonna definitely involve these Pioneers, and my question is, are the Pioneers gonna get grenade launchers or flamethrowers? So it looks, I actually think he just upgraded, yeah, see, he's picking up combat half-tracks now. He's gonna add, I suspect he's gonna add on this autocannon conversion, potentially. We'll see. So to be perfectly honest with you, oh, that might be a dead half-track. That might have been a little too aggressive there. Oh, is he repairing it? He was, I think he was repairing it there. The loss of that half-track's not going to feel very good. Not the end of the world. They cost 240 manpower. He didn't miss out on any fuel, and look, yeah, he's already adding another one back on. Wow, a lot happening in this game. Hard for me to talk about anything other than the game, and that's okay. What I was gonna say is, normally I don't cast. I only cast 1, maybe 2 games a day. I often throw out 1 or both of the casts, depending on how good the game is to watch. And today, I have recorded 3. This is my 3rd one. And they've all been really good. I don't know if this one's going to be super good yet. We're going to find out together. But let's just say I'm a little bit tired. The reason I'm casting 3 today is I had a person comment on one of my videos and said, you need to cast in higher quality. And I responded saying I didn't know how to do that. I'm still figuring out my setup. Well, I figured out how to do that, so I expect this video is gonna be in 4K. And if I'm wrong, you will probably never see this video. Alright, back to the game at hand. US player continuing to play fairly standard. He's up to 3 rifleman squads now. If it were me, I'd be adding on a 4th. We'll see if he wants to do that. As expected, our German player is using his half-tracks to be annoying by rapidly moving around the map. He's upgraded his Pioneers with flamethrowers, and he's roasting his opponent alive. He's also added on a heavy MG to try and push back the forces here. While this has been happening, our US player's been ahead on squads, especially when he took down that first half-track. And that squad advantage has translated into a territory advantage. US player is currently ahead on fuel, and it shows. Our US player has invested a little bit of fuel into grenades. Looks like he's investing in an infantry support center and a weapon support center right now. So I expect he might be thinking about adding an armored personnel carrier. See what he ends up doing. Nope, he's going for the bazooka squad. I think he's had enough of these light vehicles from his opponent, and he wants to have an answer for it. So I think that's totally fine response. Adding on that infantry support has given him access to this captain, which is a fairly decent fighting unit in its own right, but it also provides XP to units around it. Can also order units around it to move faster. So, high utility squad, but also a decent fighter. This player going heavy into grenades right now. We've seen him throw a bunch of grenades, including an anti-tank grenade on that motorcycle earlier. So, he's just wanting to get aggressive with these infantry and stay aggressive. So, German player finally evening out map control here a little bit. Oh, look, another grenade. Everyone's surprised. Is he going to throw another one? He is. Nice. That's going to be bad for that squad in there. I don't think they're dead. It's going to be close. Going to be close. I think they're getting away. Yeah. German player starting to control the center here. US player kind of just sniffing around, capturing territory a little bit. Motorcycle being annoying up top, taking away that point. I love watching good players keep their motorcycles alive for extended periods of time. It's never easy to keep your ultralight vehicles alive. And when you can, especially when they can capture territory, it can be extremely rewarding. And that's what we're seeing out of this motorcycle up top, picking up these, picking up those points up there. Pioneers getting pushed back. Looks like our German player has preemptively added on an AT gun. That seems like it's just in time to deal with this personnel carrier. We'll see what the U.S. player wants to do with the personnel carrier. If I had to guess, I suspect he's probably going to go for the quad mount. Add-on. This half-track needs to be careful. Yeah, there he goes. Didn't quite see it in time. That's okay. It happens. Take a quick look at our players' battle groups. Our U.S. player's gone for the armored battle group, getting veteran crews, so all his crews have +1 veterancy to start the game. Faster deployment of vehicles, so they can get on the field a little bit quicker. The German player has gone for the Italian infantry, giving access to this particular squad, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I try to pronounce it every video I see it in. I just need to look it up and learn how to pronounce it. It's basically a better pioneer squad. Gets access to the flamethrower and repair, etc., etc. We've also got access to these light tanks. These light tanks can be upgraded with flamethrowers. Yeah, I think it's a fairly strong battle group. I don't get to see it very often, so I'm excited to see what we have this game. So there's that quad. That's the AA motor carriage, and that was a really nice shot by this AT gun. He attacked ground through the hedge there, so he was able to shoot that vehicle despite not having vision. Wow. And he didn't even lose the he did not even lose the pack gun. In fact, he managed to kill a rifleman squad on the retreat. Man, that was a crazy little fight. So really, really well played by our German player. German players added on this squad here, and I think I'm going to embarrass myself here for just a second. Come back to me on that one. I think he added on the Panzerjäger squad. Yeah, he did. That's his Panzerjäger mechanized group call-in. Comes with a half-track. Comes with these AT infantry there. But unfortunately for him, he did lose the half-track. Yeah. So our German is benefiting from the fact that he's managed to wipe a few of our U.S. players' early investments. Losing that quad half track doesn't feel good, and losing a rifleman squad doesn't feel good either. He has added back on his riflemen. He's also upgraded all of his riflemen to have bar rifles, making them more effective against infantry. And yeah, it's anybody's game right now. Our German player's definitely leaning on these heavy machine guns a bit. Just helping him to lock down territory. And, you know, he's been very, very active with this motorcycle, and it's paying dividends here. US player upgrading to the M8 Scott and then immediately calling it in from his battle group. I really like this tank. It's extremely light. Like, it'll go down to somebody sneezing on it. But it's a highly mobile, effectively a mortar carriage. Yeah, light artillery, right? We lost that motorcycle. End of an era. Happens every game. I don't think anybody gets their motorcycle through to the end of the game. Having to back away from this AT gun. Fortunately for him, the AT gun missed. German player adding on this cannon, this howitzer. That's again from his battle group. I have never seen a high-level player use this particular weapon, and I'm excited to see what it can do. It's going to be... Wow, look at that range. It can hit anywhere on the map. And wow, that was extremely damaging. So, yeah, that's cool. Is that even a... Can this thing just fire directly? You're telling me this thing can just shoot? Yes, it can. That's incredible. Wow, okay. That seems really good. Any artillery that can fire without being ordered to fire is really good in my book. So, that's going to be super annoying for our US player to deal with. He's going to have to stay on the move. He's going to have to spread out his units. I think a way to deal with something like that is to spread out your units across the entire map. Don't cluster in one big group in some area, or you're going to get ripped to shreds by the artillery. Nice push on this top side by our US player. Definitively winning the push, capturing away the fuel. Trying to wipe the squad. He might get it. He got him. Is he going to steal the gun? He should. I think he is. Get it. Get it. Oh, artillery, look out! I don't think he's going to try again to get it. I don't know if you can pick this up while suppressed. So, looks like it died just out of range for him to be able to get it. Heavy MG locking down this left side. Annoying this bazooka squad. Scott coming in to deal with the heavy machine gun. Artillery's probably going to have something to say about this. I wonder if this artillery can reface without help from something like a half-track. Because that would seem pretty balanced to me in that you can't just move it. But like I said, I've never seen this unit used, so... Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this unit a try. Alright, so what do we got going on? Oh, and I just realized something else. I'm learning so much about this unit. So it can barrage, like, the entire map, as you can see on the mini-map there. But it can only automatically fire this far. I mean, that's still a huge range, but at least it's not as broken as I initially thought it might be. Panzerjäger's going down to these riflemen while I'm gawking at this artillery piece. German player added on another heavy machine gun. US player hasn't added on a whole lot recently. Now, I suspect he's going to want to go for... Well, I don't know what he's going to go for. When I use this battle group, I like to go for the Easy 8. But that's just because I like big tanks with big guns. I don't necessarily think it's the meta play to do that, especially when your opponent doesn't build very many tank units. So I'm not sure what he has in store for us there. I think the Scott's barely going to get out. Yep, just barely. Barrage coming in. Oh, he's barraging his opponent's base. That's so obnoxious. You know, nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is absolutely a viable strategy to kill your opponent's units when they're on the retreat, right? He's probably not going to kill the base. I mean, if he continues to barrage, he could, and if the US player just totally ignores it. But it makes it really, really annoying to replenish your units when you're getting barraged constantly like that. Preemptive grenade from the Pioneer squad there. Definitely dealing some damage to the rifleman there. Pack gun having to get out. Rifleman making the push all across the front here. German player recognizing the push is happening on the left side and capturing territory on the right side. These riflemen are probably going to take away this cutoff point. They did pick up the pack. Can he steal it? That's going to be a tough steal. He is going to go for it. Nice barrage by the artillery. These units got to go. US player moving in to push away that tank. I wouldn't mind... Oh, nice barrage on... Oh, nice smoke grenade. Well played by our US player. Getting his units out of there safely. I was going to say, I wouldn't mind seeing this Scott try and destroy this pack gun. Oh my god, he just hit that unit on the retreat. What a freaking shot. Yeah, taking out another rifleman squad is definitely not going to feel good. Phosphorus shell going out by our US player from that Scott. German player's added on a pack. Excuse me, a Panzer III. So this thing is definitely scary for our US player to deal with. Hopefully he doesn't lose this bazooka squad on the way out. I think they're barely going to make it. We do have to run through this heavy machine gun, which is unpacking, so he is going to make it. US player continuing to stay proactive in his base, recognizing that he's constantly getting barraged, so he has to keep moving out of the way. German player taking advantage of the fact that he just made several squads retreat. So I don't think I ever finished my sentence. I was hoping that the Scott light tank would try to destroy the pack before leaving by attacking just the gun itself and destroying it. He didn't do that. I mean, he was trying to steal it to start, which I also think was a great idea. But once he saw the steal wasn't going to work, he did throw out a smoke grenade. Still great ideas. And then once none of that was working, I think he needed to try and destroy it. That said, was not going to be easy. Alright, looks like we got a, what is that, an artillery barrage coming in? Is it light artillery? What do we called that in? Looks like it was the captain there calling in a light artillery barrage. Nice smoke grenade from this scout squad, covering this rifleman. Now the Scott's coming in to barrage this guy. It's going to work, too. Well done. Scott's probably going to move over to this right side. Barrage this heavy machine gun a little bit. Maybe smoke grenade it off. Oh, he did. He smoke grenaded his... Oh, the Scouts did that when they retreated. Never mind. Alright, what else we got here? German player going up, getting sound the alarm. Making his units harder to kill in friendly territory. Granting vision range to all of his weapon teams and emplacements. So that means so this heavy machine gun can see about 1,000,000 miles away. Yeah, look, I mean, that heavy machine gun can almost see its entire firing arc. That's crazy. That's really, really strong. Xandr 3 continuing to be annoying. Doesn't feel like our US player has a definitive answer to that yet. And our German player is adding on another Panzer III, so the US player is going to have to do something pretty definitive here, or he's going to get overrun by Marauders, by Panzer IIIs there. Looks like I mean, it doesn't feel like he has a great answer to these medium tanks, and he's not doing super great on fuel. I mean, he's got 23 fuel per minute, so he could tech up. I don't mean to make it sound like he's hurting bad in this game. I mean, he's, you know, doesn't feel like he has a great answer, but we'll see what he has in store for us. He did add on another bazooka squad. I think that's a fine choice. Bazooka squads work pretty well against the armor of the Panzer III. Yeah, anybody's game right now. Only one victory point currently under anyone's control. German is ahead in victory points, ticking down his U.S. opponent slowly. Looks like he's going to pick up the center point there, so... Now our U.S. player... Ooh, that was a big artillery hit. I was saying that earlier that, you know, our U.S. player is going to be vulnerable to... really vulnerable to that artillery barrage. And unfortunately for our U.S. player, he just got pushed back in a big way. I think he lost both bazooka squads. Yeah, he did. That's pretty devastating. That's that Panzer III chasing those units down after a really nasty hit by the artillery. And now I think this is a dead Scot. He doesn't have artillery. Did he bounce? I think the Panzer III bounced. Get another shot? Nope, not quite. These Pioneers are going to pick up this Panzer III, hopefully for him. Nicely done. That's from the stolen weapon from that Jaeger squad earlier. So killing that Panzer III was really important just there. It's going to keep our U.S. player in the game a little bit longer. German player barraging a different area. It looks like he's identified this area as some place the U.S. player likes to hang out. U.S. player on this top side, I like he's just kind of using one squad. He focused a lot of his strength on the bottom side and then sent one squad up here to capture. Oh, such a painful barrage. Really well done by our German player. You know, I said at the beginning of this game that I felt like this guy had really great game sense. What am I trying to say? He almost can sense what his opponent is doing, right? This is the type of map awareness I'm talking about. He knew that that guy had retreated back to his base. He counted to 20, and then he barraged right here as that guy was leaving his base. And that's the type of sixth sense I'm talking about with this guy. German player has a clear advantage right now. He's got squad advantage, he's got vehicle advantage, victory points. This game is not looking good for our U.S. player. It feels... You know, normally I try not to call games too early, even when it's looking really grim. But this game in particular, it feels like our U.S. player's being choked out. Another barrage coming in. And this is what I mean, right? It feels like every time oh, what a terribly unlucky barrage. Taking out that scout squad there. And that's what I'm talking about, right? Our U.S. player is trapped in his base and being shelled to death. And the attrition is adding up big time, right? He can't keep his squads alive. And it's just brutal. Xandr has this guy's number. Transport going down there. That's a nice pickup for our U.S. player. I mean, he needs any and all pickups he can get. Okay, our U.S. player has called in his combat group here. This tank is very effective against armor. It's got a longer barrel, better armor penetration, and it has better frontal armor than its Sherman counterpart. But I think that he just misused that Sherman pretty badly by charging in there. You know, I'm surprised to see that happen to him. I think the frustration for him was building. I mean, just look at the discrepancy in those damage numbers. I mean, that is... I mean, infantry lost, infantry killed. That's so dramatic. And I think it's because Xandr just had that guy's number all game. Xandr made the right decision at every turn in that game and made unbelievably good use of his artillery. I mean, he was extremely active, barraging his opponent's base constantly, barraging where he knew his opponent's units were going to be as they're leaving the base. I mean, that was a clinic put on by Xandr. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed that game as much as I did. It was a really fun one to watch, and I'll see you in the next video.